Welcome back, chess people, to a new video. And in this video, we're going to continue to cover the Women's Grand Prix in Munich, Germany. And it's the second leg, and this is the current round, I think round three of, I think it's round three. I don't know. Um, I lost track, but it's the current round, the newest round that they just played today. And this game um, by was played by Humpy Koneru, a great chess player from India, versus Anna Muzychuk from Ukraine. Both have the Grandmaster title and are extraordinarily, extraordinarily high-rated women who are really awesome um, at chess. So we're going to sit back and we're going to admire what professional chess does, and we will see how this plays out. So, without further ado, let's get started. So the game starts out d4, knight f6, c4, g6, knight c3, d5. This is the Grunfeld defense, highly theoretical, very sharp. Um, um, Grunfeld does not often arise um, unless both players are extremely high level, and these players are. So white goes for knight f3. The usual line we see is c takes, knight takes, and e4. This is the standard approach here, here, and here. And bishop g7 and c5 is coming after something like knight f3, c5. This is highly theoretical position, played many times. Um, very, but white just goes for the three knights, and we get a position. H4, what a computer move. Yeah, I think this is preparation though. Um, this is actually the second uh, the second top move as awarded uh, by the computer. The point is that you're playing against the fianchettoed bishop. C6. Basically, yeah, C6 was to support the center. White trades, and we get um, this kind of thing. Black castles. White plays king, queen b3, knight a5, queen a3, bishop f5. Very interesting choice to put the knight on a5 here, I think. Not that I know much about this system, but oh, and then the point is get the outpost on c4 so that white makes the concession of um, bishop for knight, and if they don't, and if white kind of declines that, he can, with queen b3, we can kind of repeat with knight a5 and get a draw, right? Which white does, and then black plays queen b6 to challenge the white queen. We castle, and black here makes a move that's very interesting. That's knight b2, and it seems to be a free pawn, but it's not so easy because there's counterplay against the knight. Um, Basically, if black were to ever trade queens, let's say after knight e5, black decides to trade queens, um, suddenly it's very hard to get this knight out of white territory, as all of these squares are now covered. So that's what is interesting about knight b2 to me. Um, Rook fc8, rook c1, yeah, and suddenly black had to just kind of pull out the knight and kind of give the pawn back, which is kind of unfortunate. Um, and now we're here, and now suddenly white has a threat of bishop takes f7. Uh-oh. So black responds by trading queens, and but this position only favors white because black had to trade on white's terms. So now white has the um, has the connected pawns, only one pawn island, um, and all the pieces are participating to their potential, fullest potential. And while blacks are not, the point of the Grunfeld is you're supposed to um, control the center with pieces instead of pawns, but it looks like white's pieces are controlling the center more than black's pieces. So white has emerged on top. Bishop e6, knight b5, knight d5, and then it's like a couple of beginners playing almost, because I see a lot of, not that I'm calling these players beginners or anything. It's just kind of funny because I see a lot of similarities in beginner play, because a lot of beginners they'll just snap take this pawn with the knight and just not. It's like, hey, I want a pawn, without thinking of the consequences. They're just like, ooh, free pawn. So that's kind of what I think about. That's why I laugh. I'm not laughing at them. I'm laughing at the absurdity of the move. Uh, so and black decides that trading the rook for the knight here was best, but black had something much better than that. Let me see, because I'm kind of curious. Rook c4, rook c4, knight f4, rook c7. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's kind of a tough line to follow. Okay. Very tough line to follow there. So, yeah. Basically the line that was rook here, knight here, and to not even recapture, I think. Like, yeah, it's just giving rook b4 and rook c7. Just targeting the pawn. Don't even capture the knight. Isn't that a hilarious computer move? Like, it's just not even yeah, just don't even capture the knight. That just seems appropriate. I just don't understand why. Okay, I'm curious. Why would I not capture the knight here? Oh, the rook's under attack. That's right. It's a discovered. I didn't even see that. Yeah, that's a hilarious. Oh my gosh, that's so hard to see. Okay. So maybe we shouldn't blame anybody for not seeing that one. I didn't even see that one. That was that was kind of broadsided me there. Anyway, black decides to exchange the rook for the knight. Uh, Knight f4. Rook decides to double rooks. Black goes back. That's also a weird interaction. Just didn't understand. Oh yeah, yeah. Basically, it's tough um for white to capture because we take this with tempo, and this is still pinned. It's attacking here. Oh, wait, that wasn't the reason. Why can't it capture? Maybe I'm just dumb. I really just want to know. E takes F. Why can't I capture? Oh, B5 wins the piece here. Okay, yeah, yeah. Interesting. So rook CA1 to double the rooks. Black moves the knight back. Rook captures the pawn. And now black is getting kind of basically compartmentalized. Basically only has pieces on the queen side, and white has dominated the queen side to the point where black doesn't have a queen side anymore. But it's still a very tough position to navigate. White's just trying to get a rook trade, simplifying stuff down. I think they repeated twice before white decided to capture on e6. F takes, and rook captures the knight. I mean the bishop. Uh, rook, and black takes the pawn, and I don't think black can. Basically, white gave a pawn so that it can no longer not accept the trade, and so black does. And notice that white has no structural weaknesses in the pawns, um, even though it's two pieces versus rook. There's no structural weaknesses. Black has an isolated pawn, and white has two extra pawns. So, and then watch how white kind of uses her forces to as one unit. Basically, it's called rallying the forces. It's found in um, My System by Nimzovich, and yeah, she's just using all of her pieces just as one unit. She pushes this into here, and then she pushed the pawn, then she pushed this pawn, basically navigating her king um, in between the pawns to fill the gaps. Just kind of nice, kind of beautiful. Just a way to kind of crush her opponent. That's the threat. Knight f8. Now black has deactivated their knight, and it's really easy for Humpy to just advance her king um, as one unit, then finally pushes this pawn, and it's just going to grind black against the wall. And yeah, look at that. Corralling the knight with the rook, and um, f4, and notice that the knight is trapped. The knight has no more moves, and white is the only one making progress, and black's bishop is really just deactivated, and the knight is trapped. The white's king is superior. This rook is doing a good job of corralling the knight, and basically white just makes a pass pawn on the king side and wins, or makes a pass pawn on the in the center and on the king side, and that should be enough to win. And so I thought that was a really entertaining game. Really demonstrates really nice technique in the end game, and just some really interesting moments that kind of threw me off when I was first looking at this. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if and if you enjoyed the content, please subscribe and like, comment, do whatever, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.